Having won that, let's move on now. The FKF Premier League matches are going on. And like we said before, the heat is being felt by many of the teams. In the recent results, we had FC Leopards drawing with Shabana. Now, those are two teams that are still waiting for a win, and the fans are getting a little bit restless. And it's getting a little bit murky out there as well. Two coaches have already been fired. Sofapaka fired their coach.
Yes.
And Kenya Police have fired their coach.
So Sofapaka last weekend, they had given their coach Francis Harigingo a final chance to prove himself. He just came in the off-season. Unfortunately, they lost to City Stars, and shortly after the match, he got his marching orders. But that seemed to be something that was coming. Now, the fact that just the 3 days prior, Kenya Police had, the police had also fired their coach. I think this just goes to show that the heat has been felt, and teams are starting to reorganize themselves, and they're saying,
let's look at the statistics. Let's look at the statistics, because FC Leopards, we're in round 6 now.
Yes,
do you have the statistics there? What do they have in statistics?
We've played 5 rounds now, okay?
Yes, we are going to round 6.
So if you look at the bottom 4 teams, let's look at the bottom 4 teams.
Let's look at FC Leopards, Ken. We said let's look at FC Leopards.
It is top of the 4 bottom.
Yes. So let's look at FC Leopards.
Played 5 matches. 5 matches.
Okay.
They have 4 points. They have not won a match. They have drawn 4 matches.
Okay.
And lost 1.
What about the Sofapaka side?
Sofapaka has played 5 matches and only drawn 1, which was the first match against Gor Mahia that they drew. That seemed to stem some hope, but all the others they have lost.
Now that makes it very difficult. Shabana as well is yet to win a match. They've drawn 3 matches so far and lost 2. Now they have only 3 goals for and 5 against. That's a -2 goal difference. That makes it 3 for them.
Yes.
And their fans are also getting a little bit impatient, because this is a team that just came into the league the other day. Although their fans are filling the stadium to capacity, Captain.
I actually feel it for Shabana, because they have just come from Division 1, coming to the Premier League, and the fact that again they are a little bit struggling. Of course, to the fans, they feel like what exactly is happening. That we thought we are going to be there, and at least, because these are the teams that again risks being relegated, next season, and that is something that I'm afraid. Now, Bernard, let me just touch something small, especially on the firing of the coaches. This is not something new. Sports at the moment, there is a lot of high expectations from the fans, from the sponsors, from the owners of the
employers.
The employers. Exactly. There is a lot of pressure, and therefore, when you don't perform, you will be shown the door. And unfortunately, this is something that is always there, and especially when you look at even other teams, you could be struggling, you could be doing whatever you can do, but the more you lose, the more you will.
Remember what I told you here, that the one team that is going to be very solid even now, they will not go down very easily, is Posta Rangers. And I told you the reason why. They're all employees of Posta Rangers. So even when the money comes, say from Azam, with 3.5 million, I think 1 million has been paid out, another million is going to be paid soon, and then the 1.5, I think in February or around there. It's a bonus to them, because they already have salaries. But for other teams that are relying on that to get money for their teams, it becomes a little bit of a struggle if you do not have a sponsor.
Bernard, there is something you said. We had that conversation in the much earlier when the season was just beginning, and we looked. I don't know whether it is Shabana in particular that we looked at, but we said, look, so here is Shabana. They have gone through all the rigors of the Super League. Now the players who have made it, now they say these are not good enough.
Yes,
now that might be exactly what is biting. That's what is biting.
They'll start to look for people who can now put them into the league and play for them.
So in other words, the people who did duty for Sami Omolo in the National League, Sami Okoth in the National League, are not the same players that he's relying on now. Now
they're still the same players, but he might have to change them. They're still the same players. That's the problem. At the top there is Posta Rangers. Gor Mahia, of course, they got sponsorship as well. Moranga Seal. Now, I'm worried about Moranga Seal as well, because now they have 9 points out of 5 matches. Now, even they are not doing as well as was expected. KCB is coming up. Sharks still there. Tusker just in mid-table. Bandari as well in mid-table. They were beaten by Kakamega Homeboys at home. Bidco is hanging in there. Moroni Youth. Police are on the other end. Talanta as well. Zoya Sugar. And Leopards, Shabana, Ulinzi, and Sofapaka. That is the way the league looks like at the moment. We will see what happens, hoping that it's not going to come to pass as we have discussed it. But FC Leopards, the talk has been that, Tom Juma has got to go because he's not doing very well and all that. He was given another chance. We'll see what happens in the next matches that they play. Let's move on then. Now that we know what's happening to the coaches,